Hello and welcome to EDI Sports Card's Father's Day special. A lot of people ask me in my professional life, why do you need to read the classics? And so this is actually the reason why. I'm going to present to you a special story written specifically for Father's Day called The Father's Day Carol. Are you ready? Here we go. So our story begins a long time ago in a time called COVID. Now, there was a man named Jeff Wilson who decided to start a YouTube channel called Sportscard Investor and make a whole bunch of videos. It was a happy time. Everyone had money. There was no such thing as inflation, and no one was allowed to go anywhere. We were all locked up inside our homes, and if we tried to go outside even for a minute, our government and the police would arrest us and beat us senseless. In this glorious and happy time, Jeff Wilson made hundreds of videos telling people to spend millions of dollars on sports cards. And he told them to spend millions because every card always goes up in value, no matter what. And during the time of COVID, every card did go up in value. Like a Michael Jordan rookie card went from being worth less than $100,000 to $750,000. Incredible. And Jeff Wilson said to the people on his videos with a big smile on his face, this is the safest investment in the world because every card always goes up. The good times lasted for almost 3 years, and Jeff Wilson's YouTube channel exploded in popularity. He started with 0 followers and grew it to over 250 followers. And Jeff has spent to date close to $3 million on sports cards. And then reality hit. In a flash, the economy came back to earth. People were forced to go back to work. The government stopped giving people free money. And the stock market corrected about 20%. And all of a sudden, no one had money anymore. And Jeff Wilson didn't understand what happened. Where did my views go? Where did my followers go? What happened? The glory days of COVID were over. People were now living in reality again, and in reality, you have to pay more for gas, more for groceries, and soon everyone will have to start paying back their college loan debt. And Jeff Wilson thought to himself, "Oh, reality, why doth you return? Is there any way we can go back to the glory days of COVID?" But alas, COVID is no more. But this world made Jeff angry. Instead of facing reality, he decided to make videos yelling at other people on YouTube. He sued other content creators for exposing his massive mistakes in investing. He even exclaimed, "The haters give me more motivation." But no one was buying it anymore. Jeff had become the emperor's new clothes. But Jeff wanted to somehow revive the glory days and rebrand himself the great and almighty Wilson. But nothing worked. His channel was hurting. His views were down, and no one was listening to him anymore. So Jeff contemplated what could be wrong. Could it be me? Could I be the problem? But then Ken Golden called Jeff and said, "Jeff, Bubba, it's not you. It's the fans. They are dumb and stupid. Just tell them what they want to hear. You fooled them once. You can fool them again. I believe in you." Jeff smiled and patted himself on the back. "I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people love me." But later that evening, after the entire Wilson family went to sleep, Jeff was sprung from his slumber by a strange and mysterious noise in his house. Startled and awake, he sat up and wondered, what could that sound be? Since Jeff's a hillbilly from Florida, he got up and went to his gun rack so he could search his home with a gun. For if there was an intruder, he is legally allowed to shoot them because of stand your ground laws in the Dixie state. "Hello?" said Jeff Wilson. "Is anybody there?" As he walked down the hall and turned the corner, he could see an apparition dancing in his fireplace. "What are you?" said Jeff Wilson. The ghost stopped dancing and moved closer to Jeff and said, "Hello? I'm the ghost of Jeff Wilson past." Jeff Wilson cringed at the awful sound. "Why do you speak such shrill sounds?" The ghost replied, because I have more talent in my tiny pinky than Robin Williams, and you must bow and respect me. I don't think so, said Jeff Wilson. You sound like a dying cow. Dear, dear Mr. Wilson, you know nothing of talent, but that's why I'm here. Why are you here? Said Jeff. Because you've been a very bad boy, Jeff. And I'm here to show you how bad your past has been. But I won't be the only one. You will also be visited by 2 more ghosts this night. But come quickly, let me show you how bad and evil you've done in the world. But, said Jeff, and the ghost lifted his transparent hand and silenced Jeff. Suddenly, Jeff Wilson and the ghost of Wilson Past were transported to his YouTube channel, where he told everyone that Will Greer was a 10-time better investment than Kyler Murray. And then when Jeff told everyone to buy Ben Simmons cards. And then when he traded away a Michael Jordan card for a James Harden rookie card. Do you remember those moments, Jeff? Said the ghost. Yes, said Jeff. I do. I regret them all. But do you, Jeff? Said the ghost. Do you really regret them, or just feel bad because you look foolish? What's the difference? Said Jeff. When you make a mistake and truly regret that mistake, you vow never to make it again, said the ghost. But some people only regret getting caught. What did I do? Said Jeff. You regret getting caught because you're making the same mistakes right now, said the ghost. And with that, the ghost of Wilson Past vanished. As you can imagine, Jeff Wilson was shocked to his core. He doesn't want to be an evil and dishonest person. He has worked for a decade creating an image of an honest businessman. He has worked so hard creating that image that he believes the image more than reality. Before Jeff could recover, he hears a second noise inside the house. This time the noise isn't inside the main part of the house. It sounds like it's coming from a different section. Jeff follows the sound and it leads him to the garage. As Jeff opens the door to the garage, the full volume of his car's radio hits his ears. The sound is so loud that it causes him to recoil. But he can see, sitting in the driver's seat, there is a second ghost. Shh, Jeff Wilson said. You're going to wake up my family. What are you doing? I'm trying to steal your car, said the second ghost. Why would you want to steal my car? Said Jeff. And the ghost said, why not? You offer bad advice in all your YouTube videos and never ask the question, why do I give bad advice? So I thought I would just steal your car, because why not? That's not fair, said Jeff. You're right, it's not, said the ghost. But who cares? I'm a ghost. What are you going to do about it? You know you can't sue a ghost. Are you just here to torture me? Because if you are, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, said Jeff. Jeff, what am I going to do with you? Said the ghost. What do you mean? Said Jeff. I'm the ghost of Wilson Present. I'm here to show you how bad you are right now. The ghost snapped his fingers and they were transported to the set of the Jeff Wilson Show. I know this set, said Jeff. That's right, it's your YouTube talk show. I love this set, said Jeff. We're not here to admire the upholstery, Jeff. We are here because you've been a very evil and bad man on your show. I have, said Jeff, but I'm just being honest. Jeff, do you know the difference between honesty and stupidity? Said the ghost. What do you mean? Said Jeff. Jeff, I'm going to go really slow for you. There's 2 types of information. There's factual information, and then there's opinion. On your show, you give opinion after opinion after opinion. I know, isn't it great? Said Jeff. No, Jeff, it's not, said the ghost. And here's why. You give people the impression that your opinions are based on facts, and they are not. They are just opinions you came up with while you were sitting on the toilet. If you were truly honest, you would tell people these are my opinions. They are not based on any facts whatsoever. I have no idea how I even came to these opinions because most people who have been in the hobby longer than me do not agree with these opinions. Don't I do that? Said Jeff. No, Jeff, said the ghost. You don't even come close. You make people believe your opinions are facts. You want people to use your opinions to make decisions. You fool people into thinking you know what you're talking about. That's just called being dishonest and evil, Jeff. That's what you do. Oh, said Jeff, I had no idea. I know that, Jeff, said the ghost. We all know that. You're not a very smart man. Well, let me stop you there, Jeff. Only the court jester takes himself seriously. You take yourself way too seriously, which is why you sue everyone that talks about you. I had no idea, said Jeff. I know, Jeff, said the ghost, but you can change your future. And with that, the second ghost disappeared. At this point, Jeff's heart is racing. He had no idea how awful a human being he was when he went to bed that evening. He didn't realize that shaming people for not wasting money on sports cards would come back to bite him so hard in the ass. He didn't realize that launching lawsuits against every YouTube creator would make him look like an evil and dishonest person in the eyes of the public. He had worked so hard to create the perfect image, and his true actions and behaviors are destroying that clean and honest image. But the prophecy foretold 3 ghosts would visit Jeff, and he has only seen 2 thus far. As Jeff walked back inside his house from the garage, he could faintly hear a crinkling sound coming from the kitchen. It sounds like someone is rummaging through his refrigerator. So he takes his gun and slowly creeps up to the sound inside the kitchen. Freeze, said Jeff. I'm in mortal danger. If you move closer to me, I will feel like my life is over and I must legally shoot you. The ghost stops fumbling through the fridge and turns around. As Jeff looks at the ghost's face, he sees it's Ryan from Card Collector 2. Put the gun down, Jeff, said the ghost. You're not going to shoot another influencer. Ryan, what are you doing here, said Jeff, and why are you going through my fridge? Ryan the ghost says, because I'm hungry, Jeff. You killed us all. Me? Said Jeff, but I wasn't trying to kill you. I know, but you did, said Ryan the ghost. You didn't stop making top 5 card videos, and you didn't stop spreading lies and nonsense. You weren't helping the hobby. You were destroying it. So I'm dead and all the influencers are dead, and that's why I'm looking for food in your fridge. That's not true, said Jeff. I didn't kill all the influencers. Come with me, Jeff. And Ryan the ghost snaps his fingers and Jeff is transported to a cemetery. This is the old graveyard of all the sports card influencers. Ryan the ghost points to his own gravestone. There's me. There's Ken Golden. Look, there's the sports card curator over there. And can you see way over there? Where? Said Jeff. Right there, said Ryan the ghost. That's your grave, the sports card investor. No, said Jeff. It doesn't have to be this way, Jeff, said Ryan the ghost. This doesn't have to be your future, but the only way to change your future is to make massive changes right now. Otherwise, this is where you will be buried just like all of us. It's up to you, Jeff. It's up to you. I can change, said Jeff. I can change. We shall see, said Ryan the ghost. Only time will tell. And Ryan the ghost disappeared into thin air. I hope you enjoyed this classic tale. This is inspired by A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So what are the lessons that we learned in this story? So the first lesson is anyone that tells you what cards to buy, you should just tune them out. Like, no one should tell you what to buy. This is your collection. You decide what you spend money on. So don't listen to people that tell you the cards you need in your collection. They don't know you. They don't care about you. You do what you want to do. For example, I like Panini Contenders tickets cards. Like, I'll show you them to you right here. So these are the cards I like. Now, are they worth any money? No. In fact, all 6 of these cards are probably worth like maybe $5 most. So my point is that I like these cards. They're in my PC. They're not worth any money, but I like them. I'm in control of my PC, not the influencers. You should take control over your PC. Now, what's the second lesson that we learned in this story? So every card you buy up is not going up. That's the lesson. Every card you buy will not go up in value. In fact, at this point, because the prices of cards went so far during the land of COVID, basically every card, 100% of cards are going to come down for the next foreseeable future. Your cards are going to be worth less in the future than they are now. The only exception are brand new rookies, where the hype will build them up because they're going from zero to something. But once they reach the something, they have to come back down. And they will not go back up. I need everybody to understand that. Just because the cards came down doesn't mean they're going to go back up. No, they're coming back down to reality. They're never going back up. Ever. Never. Maybe if you gave them to your grandkids, maybe they'll be worth more when your grandkids are growing up. But they're not going to be worth more in your lifetime. So buy the cards you want and stop wasting your money on cards that you think are going to go up in value. They're never going up in value. And what's the last lesson? Now, this is an important lesson, and I hope, again, on Father's Day that this is the lesson that you all get. So there are 3 moments where collecting sports cards matter. One is when you're a kid, and that's because you can do it with your friends. 2 is when you're a parent, because you can do it with your kid. Like, cards create moments. That's what we're looking for. So when you're a kid, you have a moment with your friends, with cards, and you trade and you talk sports and you admire the cards, not for really the cards, it's all about the experience. When you're a parent, now you have something to do with your child. So get them involved. If they don't like sports, then don't do sports cards. Do Pokemon cards. Do VFriends. Do whatever your kids like, but get involved with your kids. And then the third moment is when you're a grandparent. Because now you have something you can share with your grandkids. Because otherwise, you have a generation gap that you cannot cross. What do you, like, if you're 70 years old right now, you know nothing from TikTok. You're like, what is a TikToker? Is that a name of a clock? Like, take your sports cards that you collected for 50 years and sit down with your grandkid and go over the cards. Tell them who the players were. Tell them what it was like back in the day. Tell them the stories of when you grew up. Your grandkids want to hear that. They don't want to know. They don't want your advice. They want to know about you. The sports cards help you tell your story. And that's the third lesson. So on this Father's Day, I hope that you like this story. If you did, please hit the like button, because YouTube likes more than they like subscribes. But if you like this type of content, if you like this creativity, please subscribe. And I will be doing way more videos in the future on baseball and football as the seasons come to a close and start in the fall. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.